barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. So I'm going to expose Al Haymon business plan. I've been telling you guys for years, but now that it's more open, you guys will better understand what the hell I'm talking about. Al Haymon is literally assuming no risk. Fred, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Fred? Al Haymon, as we now know, Earl Spence doesn't have a guarantee. Terrence Crawford doesn't have a guarantee, right? So what Al Haymon does is he puts his 20% on each fighter, right? Fronts the $500,000 to get the fight. Then applies that to the logistics of the fight, gets his $500,000 back, and gets his 20%. Al Haymon has no skin in the game. He is the middleman. He literally has no need. You understand? Like he is being paid literally to do nothing. He has no value because you say, Fred, what are you talking about? Or I say he has minimal value because I don't know the relationship between him and each fighter, but he has minimal value because if you cut the middleman out, you're having the same conversation with Steven Espinoza, the heads of ESPN, and you say, even if they give you less, guess what? It's not the 20% of what Al Haymon is taking. Al Haymon has no skin in the game, man. And you say, why doesn't he want to be a promoter? Why doesn't he promote his fights? He don't have to, because he done squeezed Steven Espinoza. Because now, if you guys watch the show, Tavion explained this. Now he done squeezed the life out of Steven Espinoza because he got to pay the salaries. Al Haymon doesn't pay the salaries. The network pays the salaries, and he gets 20% of the salary. Imagine him doing that 40 times a year. When he was running through the hedge fund money, that's why their purses were so high. He gets a high percentage back until it all runs out, and then he turns around and say, we did it. And now he done ran his course. Every transaction he's made, he's gotten a percentage off of. You call it genius. Some people may call it evil. Some people say he destroyed the sport. But if you're thinking of self, maybe you say he's great. But if you're thinking for the greater good, when you got Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford arguing over Twitter, when the true problem, when they not, I'm going to do a separate video on this because I want to title it, but I'm looking back last night and I'm like, Lincoln and Kennedy would never be arguing on Twitter. Never. We don't have to. It's beautiful where my home is. It's safe where my home is. Mommy and Daddy has created a safe haven. Hopefully we're building towards this, the 8-5. Lincoln and Kennedy's ego, pride, love, confidence, and everything doesn't stem from is not fortified by anything outside of my home. Nah. Not validation, not nothing. It's Team Hawthorne, and that's it. And I saw this, and it looked like it looked like Al Haymon as the black slave master. Al Haymon, you know there was black slave masters, guys. You got to do your homework, got to do your research. Every time a black man, or every time we think of this, we say, oh, it was white slave masters. No. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of black slave masters. Yeah. As G said this morning, he sent me a text this morning. The human body is the highest capital, not the cash. And that was a great way to put it. So do your homework. But Al Haymon is the black slave master. He has no skin in the game. He's getting 40% of his money on one side, and he doesn't pay the fighters or the networks anything. Do you get it? The money that he pays TGB comes out of Showtime and Fox. We used to be Fox. He's not even he has no value. If he's not bringing anything to the table, he has no value. And you guys, and this is a conversation 10 years from now that this era of PBC fighters gonna say that they're gonna stop me at the MGM. We're on our way to the fights, or we're gonna be in wherever, and they're gonna be like, Fred, you were right, dog, the whole fucking time. You were right. And I believe both fighters. I believe Earl. I believe Terrence. I believe Earl has been consistently more right. He has been more consistently more forthright. And that's just the reality of this thing, man. But to summarize all of this, Al... Al, how can you sit in your valley? How can you sit in the valley and be proud of yourself? How can you? And he does it with a smile, y'all. Does it with a smile. He's not the Joker. He does it with a smile. Sad. It's really, really sad, man. Barbershop conversations, man. I'm going to my stretch coach. About to get this stretch in. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll holla. Peace.